I'm Donna.
And I'm Bruce, and this is Lyrical Wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lyrical Wisdom, where we dive into song lyrics and offer heart-based wisdom through our interpretations. If you enjoy what you're hearing, don't forget you can catch every episode of Lyrical Wisdom on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more.
You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Lyrical Wisdom Show. Do you have a song you'd like to hear us shed some light on? You can email us requests, questions, comments to lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Or leave a comment on a YouTube video. We'd really love to hear from you. And all requests get an episode and a shout out.
So join us every Tuesday and Friday as we dig deep and deliver our wisdom. And thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to Lyrical Wisdom. Good morning, Bruce.
Good morning, Donna.
How are you this one fine day?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you? I'm having just another day in paradise.
You know what I discovered, Bruce? And I would like to thank you for this from the bottom of my heart. I have my own little slice of paradise.
That's exactly how I like to think of it. I have to thank my dad, actually, for giving me that phrase. And one of the reasons why I use it is because I like to think of him. Every time we do the show, it reminds me of him. But I also like to say that because for you out there, maybe you're listening to our show and you're thinking, how could you possibly think this is paradise in this world? Well, it's just like what you just said. That's a very good point.
Right.
This is our little slice of paradise. And that's how I find myself here today. This is my little slice of paradise. I can't wait to talk about this song. I can't wait to listen to myself talk. I just like to do this.
Yeah.
And I feel very lucky that I still have the ability, the freedom and the ability to do this show with you, Donna, and to say the things that we can and talk about the things that we do and just enjoy this. I agree with you. This is my slice of paradise.
Right, because you create your own reality, and it comes in every single moment. So in that moment when, God bless you all, especially those beautiful souls that are holding the peace in LA. And, it's like in that moment where you feel a little discourse coming up in the body, a little fear, a little anxiety, take a breath, breathe, and just close your eyes for a second and go to paradise.
Yes.
You create your own paradise. It can be at your desk at work.
It can be.
It can be anywhere that you are.
It can, yeah.
Because you can stop that anxiety and that feeling of by just knowing that in the moment everything's okay. In this very moment, I'm okay.
Within that breath.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Take a breath. Just breathe.
Breathe. Yeah. That's really important.
When you what's really cool is, have you ever gone up to a mirror and breathed on a mirror?
I have.
You can write a message in it.
You can. You can also see messages that you might have written before.
That's true.
I actually love movies where they do that, where they breathe on a window or on a mirror, and some image or something in code comes up, and then they figure out what they need to figure out. I love that. But I love that because mirrors are, I think, portals and windows and other doorways into a different world, but also into our universe that shows us things that we can learn from.
Right. And it's your world.
Yes.
Because even though mirrors are everywhere, people have them, most people have at least one mirror in their home.
Yes.
Just about every bathroom has a mirror.
That's true.
But the mirror does not do anything until you look into it.
It's just like an electron. It isn't there until you witness it.
Right, right, which is so beautiful because then, it's not really the mirror, it's the man
It
or
is.
the woman.
It's
It's
who,
the
it's
person
that person.
that is in the mirror,
And what a
right?
beautiful segue into the song that we're going to do today.
Thank you, Bruce. It just happened that way, and
I
that's
love that. That
beautiful.
is, that
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And don't be
That's how
afraid
we
to,
create
yeah,
here.
that is how we create here, because don't be afraid to look in the mirror. None of us see each other the same way. When you look at your friends and they look at you, the way that you see yourself and the way that they see you, that is going to be completely different.
True.
It
Very,
is,
very
there's,
true.
there's no way that we could actually have the same view of each other, the same experience in that way. It's,
That's how we are multi-dimensional and
yes,
multi-beings because everybody creates their own vision of us,
yes,
as do we ourselves.
yeah.
So make
So,
sure you say
yeah.
I love you to that person in the
Yes,
mirror.
definitely take that moment to do that. And when you take that breath,
Yes.
especially in days like these days. Now, I love this song. I actually remember this song from my past because I feel like I grew up listening to this song at different times. And I also feel like I just love this song in the past. So, how do you
Mm.
like this song, Donna? I like this song.
I did too, Bruce. I grew up listening to this song,
Yeah.
so I think we're kind of telling our age a little bit, but
Oh, we
that's
are, but
okay.
that's okay. Yeah, we are. Maybe,
Yeah, yeah.
too much, but
If you haven't figured it out yet, guys, come on. Get with the program. Wake
Yeah.
up.
Yes. We are going to do today Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing in my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and one man's soul. They follow each other on the wind, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If they want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize that there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan. Could it really be me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. Gonna feel real good now. I'm gonna make a change. It's gonna feel real good. Come on, change. Just lift yourself. You've got to stop it. Yourself. I've got to make that change today. Man in the mirror. You got to. You got to not let yourself, brother. You've got to move Come on. You got to. Stand up. Stand up. Yeah. Make the change. Stand up. Stand up and lift yourself now. Man in the mirror. Gonna make that change. Come on. Man in the mirror. You know it. You know. Change. Make that change.
This is such a powerful song in its lyrics, period.
Yes.
I mean, it's like they really do, to me, speak loudly
Yes, they
and
do.
clearly of the message.
Yeah.
Which is, my daughter has a bumper sticker on her car that says, "Be the change that you want to see in the world."
Yes. Yeah.
And I can't help but keep thinking about Ram Dass.
Yeah.
He has a whole book about polishing the mirror.
Wow. That's amazing.
And I think that's what this song is.
Yeah.
It's all about polishing the mirror.
Yeah.
So, in other words, I do know that everybody in this world are mirrors for
Yes.
each and every one of us.
Yes, they are.
Especially when we see something in someone else that needs to change.
Of course.
It's the change within us
That we see.
where it needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's quite fascinating when you look at the greater picture of the mirror.
Yeah, the bigger picture is always a lot more clear when you actually allow yourself to see it. And what I love about this song, and I agree with you, and I'm going to go back to this, and I don't know if our listeners out there are tired of hearing me talk about this or us mentioning Dr. Wayne Dyer, but I love his quotes, and especially the one where he says, if you want to make,
if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change.
Thank you. Those words were not coming to me there. I believe that. And that's where I know that a lot of times we have to look in the mirror and use the mirror that is everything else out there that we think needs the change, because that change that we're looking at is a reflection of ourselves. And so what we're really witnessing and seeing and feeling like we need to make some change in somebody else, something else out there, that's actually us looking at ourselves. And if we start with the person in the mirror, then we can actually make the change in a way that's much more effective.
Well, yeah, because then what you see that you think that everyone else needs to change changes within you, so then you no longer see it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bring that disharmony to the body. It doesn't bring that, unease, that anxiety, that, I don't like that kind of, energy.
Yeah, no, and I really think that really is the key to a lot of what happens in our own universe and in our own existence. And that is what Michael Jackson is writing here, or whoever wrote the song for him. Man in the Mirror is speaking to that. And that is, if you're going to make a change, for once in my life, at the beginning of the song, he says that it's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right. Because he's starting to set the stage, and he's starting to kind of foreshadow in a way that this is going to be a change that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
This is going to feel great.
Right.
And I'm going to do it for once in my life, not over and over again, because how many of us have the courage to actually look in the mirror and say to ourselves, you need to change yourself. And that's where it needs to start, because most of us don't have that courage. Most of us don't have the ability to look at ourselves, recognize that we need to change ourselves, and start with ourselves rather than that person over there that did this thing and I'm like angry at them. The driver in the car that's behind me, in front of me, beside me, they're doing something and I'm angry at them, and darn that person, or whatever it might be. We have this really big major habit of blaming and utilizing blame to justify how we feel.
Right.
Instead of, I'm the one that's creating this. I can look in the mirror and I'm going to make that feel real good because I'm going to make that change.
And that's the way he starts. That's
Yeah.
what I think is
Yeah.
so fascinating. The very first line of this song is, I'm gonna make a change.
Yes.
Which is fascinating.
It really is.
Yeah. And then he says, as he goes to take a walk on the winter street.
Yes.
I'm in the winter because he's wearing his winter coat.
Yeah.
He has to pull the collar up so the cold won't go down his neck and shiver his spine. I love the fact that he brings air because, it's fascinating. We were talking about breath and breathing.
Yeah.
And how it can fog up a mirror.
Yeah.
And he acknowledges that the wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with nothing to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see?
Yes.
It's quite fascinating because it's like, wow, how many times is that me? How many times have I walked by someone, holding up a sign, I need help, or, please, food, I need food. It's there. People with needs are everywhere.
Yes, they are.
And, turning a blind eye to that is part of what Michael Jackson is saying, in that, this is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And, I recognize it in me too.
Yeah.
Many, times where I just keep walking. There are other times where I stop and I give and I give and I give as well. And then it's part of the flow, I believe, of the wind, of the energy that he's talking about.
Yeah.
A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and one man's soul. They follow each other on the wind.
Yeah.
Which is what I guess I'm trying to say about that energy of us, of everything. We are so connected to one another that we are like the wind. When the wind blows on me, it blows on you as well, and everyone else around me.
Yeah.
It's not, learning to see and feel and realize the connectedness of everything that's here for us on earth is, what is happening, I believe.
No, I agree with you. And it's funny because, we could take a cliche and utilize it to help us make an example here. And I think that cliche is ignorance is bliss. Because when we choose not to look at things, not to look in the mirror, and to pretend like we don't see it, because that's exactly what he says. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, that is what he's basically referring to, because they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror, because we all have a connection to everyone and everything. So there is no way that we could just take a step back and say, I have no connection to that person that needs help. I have no connection to that forest that is, either being burned or whatever it is. I have no connection to those trees. I have no connection to those animals. There's absolutely no connection. That is the part where we have what I think of as disregard or pretending not to see. And it's that kind of ignorance is bliss kind of moment where we really feel like if it's not happening to us, it doesn't count, or it isn't anything. It doesn't even mean anything. And that's the interesting part about how powerful these words are,
And it is also in the beauty of just the realization and the recognizing of it, Bruce.
Yeah.
Because there is there is something to just the recognizing. You may not be in a place to be able to help that person on the street.
Yeah, yeah.
You may be, just about on the street yourself, but just taking a moment to send that person love.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
For that role that they're playing here on earth as the person in need, for us to see
Yes.
that still exists.
If you can have a moment of empathy.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and I just that what you were saying was that's how I was thinking it, and you started to say it, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's doing it again on this show where Donna's speaking what I'm thinking, but I just use different words. I agree, because no, I would love to save every dog and every cat out there that doesn't have a home, because I love them all. But can I? I would have millions of dogs and cats in a house or on a property, and somebody would come along and probably fine me for, horrible living conditions for these poor animals. That would not be a practical way of saving the dogs and kitties of the world. It just, we have to think a little bit more practically sometimes, but also we need to have a moment of empathy. We need to have a moment of granting ourselves love and gratitude, and then passing that along.
Right. And know that everything is in divine order.
Yes.
It truly, truly is. Like I said, that person on the street that's hungry and needs to be fed is there on purpose.
They are.
To let us know
That's
that
true.
energy exists.
That's true.
And if it weren't there, then, we wouldn't need to see it.
Exactly.
And so the time, I believe, is coming where that will happen. There will be no needs. We will be helping each other so graciously that nobody hoards food and all. We just give to each other.
We give and we accept and we love each other.
Exactly, because we know who we are.
Yeah.
In our divinity within, which it comes in that mirror.
Yes, it does. Perfect segue. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, because, that they follow each other on the wind, that line. That's what I believe that means. And when they, as he says, because they got nowhere to go, that's why I want you to know, just like we're talking about, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. I love how he says that, because that's what we're talking about. If they want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. And that is a key, because all of us can look out there in the world and see how a lot of us refuse to recognize the reflection that we see of ourselves.
Exactly, because we're stuck on looking outside of ourselves and saying that's the problem.
Yep.
And that, I know a lot of that's happening in the world right now with
Yes.
protests
Yeah,
and everything. And it's in that division of, seeing this person or that person as wrong, and I am right, and therefore I'm going to fight against that wrong, is what keeps us from seeing what's in the mirror.
Yes.
It's all love.
Yes.
It is love, and when it becomes one, then the fighting stops.
Yes.
Because then the realization of, okay, so you do think that way, I do not.
Yes.
I can love you even though you think that way.
Yes.
I choose not to think that way.
I can agree to disagree, and I can also enjoy the fact that somebody could have a different opinion than I do. Exactly, because I don't feel like people can't love tea. Personally, I like to drink coffee. But does that make every tea drinker out there an enemy? No, they make their beautiful tea drinkers. Actually, I do enjoy tea anyway, but still, I like coffee. Yeah, I mean, but it's just, that's if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Because we've all been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize that there are some with no home, not a nickel to loan, could it really be me pretending that they are not alone? I find that interesting because I do think that we need to have a selfish kind of love in a lot of different ways. For you out there listening, you do have to love yourself regardless of what anybody else thinks of you loving yourself. You have to keep that. That is what you deserve. We all should love ourselves.
Well, that's where it begins. That's where the
Yes.
change, I believe, truly
Yes.
begins.
Yes. Yes.
In that love of self.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, the divinity that is within.
Yeah,
And
and
allowing it to just start shining and shining and shining and taking over. Yeah. Because otherwise, you just see a willow deeply scarred.
yes.
You see someone's broken heart and a washed out dream. Why?
Because we are only looking outside of ourselves and not recognizing the beauty within. Because those things that we are creating, that we're seeing, are suddenly that deeply scarred willow, that broken heart in the person that is, something that we see as a washout dream. That's very sad.
Because we're focusing on everything that's wrong.
Yes.
We're not taking a moment to see the beauty. When a forest gets burned, it allows for new growth, beautiful new growth. And there is a time of sorrow and grief and mourning for the forest that is lost in the fire, and it leads to celebration.
Yes, yes, because
it's all about the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Absolutely.
All of
The
this.
new creation that comes, because there are also parts of that forest that are not going to grow unless that fire burns.
Correct.
And that exists within a biological and scientific kind of realm that, honestly, we sometimes talk about. But that's the reason why I point that out, is because, these things, they follow the pattern of the wind, because they got, these things, they follow the pattern of the wind. They are a part of our world. They are natural, organic. They're a part of our breath every day. We breathe that in, we exhale it back out, and those things exist, and that is how they have to function. It is what they are.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be.
Right.
And
it is, and that's, I think what he's saying here is they follow the pattern of the wind, you see, because they got no place to be. In other words, it's up to me to be able to breathe in this sorrow, this scarred willow and the broken heart, and transmute it.
Yes.
Because I'm the one that has seen it, that is recognizing it, that's bringing it into awareness. Therefore, when I look in the mirror, I can cleanse all that and let it go, and look at me and be able to let that light shine. And therefore, it's the pattern of the wind, because like you said, Bruce, every breath we take in love and we exhale love.
Yeah, because they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me, just like we were saying.
The man in the mirror.
Yes.
I'm asking him to change his ways.
Yes.
Now, we're saying this because, of course, this is a male that is writing and singing these lyrics, and we mean all people.
Yes, we do. We mean every single person out there, because no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, you have to take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Yeah.
It can't
start with that image.
Yes.
Image. That's what I want to call it, because there's he, she, they, them, it's. There's so many different people that are not wishing to be genderized, actually. So whatever the image is in the mirror, we're asking you to make that change. Yeah. No message could be clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, Take a look at yourself and then make that change.
Yeah.
And you know what will happen?
You're going to
It's
feel
gonna feel
real
real
good.
good.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about this song, is because he really celebrates it in a wonderfully musical and rhythmic way. And that's why I love this song, because it's so catchy and so much fun to listen to, because he just starts singing, I'm going to feel real good now. I'm going to make a change. It's going to feel real good. Come on, change. Just lift yourself. And it's just, I love that. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And then he says, you've got to stop it yourself.
Yes.
All of the, the complaining, the whining, the
The
constant anxiety and fear.
the cycle of victimhood.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
You
feeling that, things are
have to
happening to
stop
me.
it yourself.
Yeah, you have to stop it in yourself, to look at yourself and say, this is all happening to me. No, it's happening for you. Yeah,
Right.
and that's why, if you want to change the things you're looking at,
Yeah.
that's how we start changing the things that we're looking at. Is we have to figure out, we're looking at ourselves in the mirror. How do I see those things? Well, I need to think about how I see those things, because if I'm not loving myself, I'm not going to be able to return that love and put that love out in front of me so I can see that love, because that's what we end up seeing in front of us.
Why is that upsetting me? When I read this, when I see this, when I hear that, why does that upset me? Why does that make me angry?
Yeah.
Those reactions are within your physical body, and they're there to teach you
Yes.
what it is that is where it comes from.
Yeah.
There's a root cause to it. So when you step back and look in the mirror and say, okay, why is this making me angry? Why do I want to protest this? Why do I want to, stand up against that?
Yeah.
And you look at that, and that's where the change begins.
It can begin right there. Yeah. And it's, I've got to make that change today.
Today.
Yeah. Man in the mirror, you got to not let yourself, brother. You've got to move. Come on. You've got to stand up. Stand up. Yeah, make that change. Stand up.
I love the rallying.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
Stand up and lift yourself now. Man in the mirror, gonna make that change.
The fascinating thing is, I am not exactly sure exactly when the song was written.
I agree.
But at the time, I know for a fact that the buzzwords of awaken and ascension were not a lot of people's vocabulary. They just
you're
weren't
right.
in there.
Yeah, this conversation we're having wasn't even a part of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And stand up and lift yourself up.
Yeah.
What is that other than ascension
Yes.
and awakening and, making yourself lighter? How do
Yeah.
you lift things up? Well, you raise it up. You
pick it
raise
up,
your
yeah.
vibration.
Yes.
You
Yes.
raise your frequency.
Yes.
It's fascinating.
Oh my gosh,
That,
it's amazing.
Yeah. So, thank you, Allison. It was released January 9th, 1988. Wow.
Wow.
That's when my first daughter was born, in 1988.
Wow. Well, that was back when I was still in high school. I don't like to admit how old I am, but that's the thing, is that this is way ahead of its time. Because back then, you are so right, Donna.
Mm-hmm.
We were not talking about a lot of the things that we're talking about now. And if you out there were, wonderful, we love you. We just know that if you were and you were having those thoughts, then you're way ahead of your time too. And that's the thing, is Michael Jackson and this song, what a beautiful message.
Right.
What
right.
a beautiful message.
Yeah.
Stand up and lift yourself now.
Person in the mirror.
Yeah, person in the mirror. Gonna make that change. Come on, person in the mirror. You know it. You know change. Make that change.
And I'm going to read it a different way. You know it. You know change. Make that change.
Yes. That's beautiful.
Fascinating.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you all so much for
Yes.
being here with us today. We love you all so much, and we appreciate you very, very much. We appreciate all your likes and subscribes
Yes, we do.
on our YouTube channel, Lyrical Wisdom Show. Please send in requests.
Yes,
We're
please.
excited to get your requests, and because we just love being here with you.
Right now.
Right now. Thank you for being here on
Lyrical Wisdom.